everyone. My name is Amanda Severson, and I'm the owner of Grandview Beef, a 100% grass-fed beef operation that sells directly to end consumers through farmers market, our online store, wholesale partners, and more. My entire day pretty much revolves around cows, and that is not what I expected for my life. So let me back up a little bit. I grew up in Washington State. I was a small town girl, but I had big city dreams, and when it came to food, I pretty much followed all the fancy fad diets and flashy news headlines. And to be honest with you, if I thought about what a farmer was, I'd say that was a pretty simple job. I thought you just put a seed in the ground and it grew. That wasn't until the summer of 2015 when I met an Iowa farm boy while we were both interning for the Seattle Seahawks. He had a dream to go back to Iowa and raise beef on his family's farm. I had a dream to stay exactly where I was because I worked for the NFL. But if you have ever heard the saying, if you want to hear God laugh, you should tell him your plans, that is exactly what was happening because God was rolling up there. Iowa farm boy went back to Iowa to start the beef business, and the Seahawks did not hire me full-time. Ouch. And I needed a new job. So I was looking for sports jobs all across the country, but no one was hiring that year. And it was then that the LPGA called, Ladies Professional Golf. They told me that they had a role that was located in Daytona Beach, Florida. And I thought, okay, 2 years of sunshine and beaches, I can totally do this. But then on the second phone interview, they said, actually, we want to make sure we clarify, this is a temporary role that's located in a different state, and that is, drum roll please, Iowa. What? Are we really doing this, God? Like, I don't even know where Iowa is on a map. But no other jobs were working out, no other doors were opening, and so I decided I better take God's plan this time around. And I moved to Iowa in March of 2016. When I got to Iowa, I realized that this is a pretty big agriculture state. And all of a sudden, all the perceptions I had around food and all the flashy news headlines I was following were not very well received by the Iowans. And every weekend I was going to the farm boy's farm and I was trying to do farm stuff, and gosh, that was hard and complicated, and I kind of sucked at it. But as I was starting to do it more and more, I was falling in love with it. I was falling in love with food, not just the taste of it, but how hard people work to get it to your plate. I was asking questions, I was doing research, and the more I found out, the more I loved it. Also, the more I found out, the more I loved the Iowa farm boy. So, we did what any good couple does. We went into business together as boyfriend and girlfriend. And he started to figure out how to raise the beef, and I was figuring out how to sell the beef. We were taking out operating loans and had debt together before we even signed the marriage license. I highly recommend it to all of you couples. So now it's the summer of 2017, and we go to our first farmer's market. And besides the fact that we didn't actually raise this beef, his parents did, and our marketing kind of sucks, we do fairly well. We sell some beef, but we're constantly getting asked the question, is this grass-fed meat? And our answer is, no, duh, we live in Iowa, this is corn-fed beef. But they didn't like that answer very much. So, we get married that summer, and we decide that we're gonna do an experiment because we're getting so many questions. So we raise 6 is grass-fed and 6 is corn-fed. And we commit to doing whatever path leads to the most success. And so as we go down this journey, what do you think wins? Yeah, of course, grass-fed wins. Not what we were expecting, but we go to the next farmer's market the next season, and we sell out of the grass-fed at $2 more per pound than the corn-fed. And actually, the corn-fed sells so poorly that we don't actually sell it all and have to take it to a sale farm. And along the way of this process, we're falling in love with raising grass-fed. So why did we fall in love with it? Well, those 6 corn-fed beef that we had, they had more vet costs combined than the 150 grass-fed steers we've raised to date. The animals were healthier and happier, and it was better for the environment. We were seeing the research that grass-fed was capturing carbon that had net negative emissions. So we dive headfirst into grass-fed, and that's where we are now. And I'm proud to say that over the last 4 years, we have fine-tuned our operation, and I truly believe we have some of the best grass-fed beef in the entire nation. That's because of our rotational grazing, our humane handling practices, the genetics, and more. We work very, very hard to get that grass-fed meat to your plate. How do we sell it? Well, we sell it at farmers markets, we sell it online, we ship boxes weekly on dry ice. We have our wholesale partners, and people love it. It tastes amazing. But they don't just buy it because it tastes good. They buy it because of our story. Because from the beginning, we committed to share our story and our process completely transparently. Why is that? Because I didn't want people to feel judged for not knowing about agriculture like I did. I wanted people to feel like they could ask any question that they had and that we would welcome them in with open arms and show them our business openly. And we love doing that with people. How do we do it with people? There's lots of ways, like our farmers markets or online, but honestly the most successful way has been our Instagram. Every single day we're sharing the highs of the highs and the lows of the lows with everyone. And we're even doing a little bit of dancing, which you've already got a preview to. So what exactly does dancing have to do with selling beef? It might seem silly to all of you, and it does seem silly to us as well, but dancing actually helps people buy beef. Yep. Just taking a while. Okay, so this video that you see behind me ended up on national TV in the Applebee's commercial. And even though it seems silly, in a time where beef is being victimized for being bad for the environment or that people shouldn't eat it, all of a sudden we changed the narrative, being a happy couple dancing in front of cattle, and we got to show agriculture on a stage. That has opened so many doors for us, like this one here tonight. We have the opportunity to get on stage and tell people that eating beef is healthy and nutritious, and they should totally be feeding their kids it. And also, when they're feeding their kids it and themselves, they should feel good about it because it's good for the environment. So, in summary, this was not exactly what I expected for my life, far from it. But God had much, much bigger plans for me, and I'm so glad that He did. Because He knew I needed a passion that challenged me and was outside of my comfort zone. And now I have the best job in the world. I get to raise beef, and I get to show people why it's so important that they know who their farmer is. Thank you.